Computex 2019.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. 大家早安. Welcome to Computex 2019. I'm very happy to see so many people today. This year, Computex is kicking off with the first ever keynote speech to be held at this Computex pre-show international press conference. Computex involves the joint effort of both Tetra and TCA. So now, I would like to welcome our partner and co-organizer of Computex, Mr. Jiang Li of TCA.
President Walter Ye of Tetra, distinguished guests, media friends, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Taipei Computer Association and our chairman, T.H. Tong, I would like to express my welcome to all of you for coming this year, Computex. Since early 19th centuries, steam machine, electric generator, and the internal combustion engine brought human beings into automation civilization era. And then, since 1960, semiconductor, computer, network, and mobile devices brought us into information technology civilization era. Taiwan and the Computex Taipei participate in this great IT revolution process at the very beginnings with our engineering capability, operation flexibility, and business trust. Therefore, we obtained a solid role in worldwide ICT supply chain and the ecosystem. This May, is exactly the 50-year anniversary of AMD. So I'm so honored and happy to be here with you to learn from the pioneer of semiconductor and the computing architecture enterprise and the long-time technical and the business partner with Taiwan, and Dr. Su's opinion on new version, new solution for next generation computing. So by close my talking, I wish you all have a very fruitful stay in Taipei. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chiang, for your warm remarks. For decades, Computex has played a very important role in the ICT industry. This is because Taiwan is home to many leading tech companies. As we know, the technology industry is constantly changing. And we are now entering a new era of innovation. Therefore, we are always transforming and evolving in order to maintain our position as a global innovator. Indeed, last October, the World Economic Forum, WEF, ranked Taiwan as one of the top 4 super innovators in the world, alongside Germany, the US, and Switzerland. Taiwan has achieved this remarkable position thanks to our vibrant startup ecosystem and strong digital economy. Moreover, with the support of the Taiwan government, our exhibitors, and our visitors, we are able to stay one step ahead in a fast-changing world. Today, Computex is more than just a sourcing platform. It is also the platform for building technology ecosystem, with focuses on themes like AI, IoT, 5G, blockchain, innovations and startups, gaming, and XR. Unlike many other ICT trade shows, Computex is expanding every year. Our new Nangang Exhibition Hall 2 is providing new capacity with almost 10% growth in booth numbers from last year. This year, Computex is hosting 1,685 exhibitors. Key exhibitors include AMD, Acer, ASUS, Audi, BenQ, Delta, Intel, Micron, Microsoft, MSI, NVIDIA, Honda, and many more. One of the highlights of Computex is Innovex, which links together the entire supply chain and promotes a complete ecosystem for the startup community. If a startup is looking to find investors, promote new ideas or products, or search for partners and manufacturers, Innovex is the perfect place to start. Since its debut in 2016, Innovex has more than doubled in size, with 467 global startups from 25 countries. Now, Innovex is the biggest startup platform in Asia. To help our startup become tomorrow's success stories, we do things differently. We organize events such as Startup Tour, Innovex Forum, such as startup and also pitch contacts and matchmaking events with VCs. To help our startup, other events at Computex also makes this show exceptional. For instance, you will hear from great industry leaders at keynotes, such as Dr. Lisa Su, AMD President and CEO, Mr. Gregory Bryant, Intel Senior Vice President, and Mr. Nick Parker, Microsoft Corporate Vice President. In addition, you can attend many forums, including Computex Forum, Innovex Forum, and Taipei 5G Summit. You will also see product launches by global brand names. Only today, from this morning until the evening, we have many product launches from top brands from all over the world. Most importantly, we help to arrange one-on-one trade meetings with global buyers during the show. And that is not all you will see and do at Computex this year. For the next 5 days, you will see and experience how technologies are positively impacting how we live, work, and play, and how we communicate, think, and create. The industry is changing, and together we are changing the world. So, enjoy future technologies at Computex today. Now, I'm going to introduce to you someone very special. I have the pleasure of welcoming an extraordinary technology leader, Dr. Lisa Su, President and CEO of AMD. Yeah. Okay. AMD is a high-performance computing force behind much of the technology that you use every day. This year, AMD is celebrating its 50th anniversary and is also launching the world's first 7-nanometer CPUs and GPUs, which I think are going to have a major impact on the market. In 2014, Dr. Su took over as CEO and has led the company to a number of remarkable achievements. She is truly a world-class and globally recognized business leader. Today, Dr. Su is joining the Computex for the very first time. So please give the warmest welcome to Dr. Lisa Su.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you so much, Walter.
Yeah. Thank you, Lisa, for coming to Computex.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning, Taipei. Good morning. It is absolutely wonderful to be here in Taipei, opening up the Computex press conference. And I have to really thank the entire Computex committee, particularly Taitra and TCA, for inviting AMD to our first ever keynote here at Computex. It is an incredible place where we have our industry partners and all of the members of the press together, but I'd also like to welcome the global audience that is watching all over the world on live stream. We truly appreciate you joining us today, joining AMD, joining Computex, and Walter said something interesting. He said it was our first time at Computex. Actually, AMD comes to Computex every single year. And we come to Computex every single year because this is the heart of the ecosystem in computing. But this is the first time we are officially invited to be a keynote here at Computex. So again, thank you very much. So Walter mentioned that as a company, we actually celebrated our 50th anniversary, actually just a few weeks ago on May 1st. And it's a big milestone for every technology company, and certainly a big milestone for AMD. And if you look at the history of AMD, we've always had this vision Our vision is to push technology to its limits. And it is all about industry first and introducing new technologies that haven't been introduced before. If you take a look at the first gigahertz CPU, that was introduced by AMD. Or the first gigahertz GPU, that was introduced by AMD. And more recently, we've really been focused on innovation in high-performance computing. So we introduced the first high-end desktop processor at 32 cores to really revolutionize the industry. And just earlier this year, we introduced the first 7-nanometer GPU. So lots of technology, but as exciting as the last 50 years were, the next 50 years for technology is much more exciting. There's a tremendous demand for computing, and we really see two key areas. It's the demand for better experiences, so it's all of the devices that each one of us has, hundreds of devices that we interact with at work or play or through our daily lives. We want each one of those devices to be better. We want them to be more responsive. We want them to understand what we want, and that requires tremendous computing power. On the other side, we also have these hundreds of devices giving us lots and lots of data. And what are you going to do with all that data? We want that data to be smarter. We want that data to help us make decisions. And we want that data to help us make our lives more easy. And that is really the huge demand for more compute on the other side of the infrastructure. Now, at AMD, we have one goal in mind. Our one goal is to lead the industry. And that requires that we think very differently about how to push the envelope in high-performance computing. And since we're here amongst our friends in Taiwan who control really so much of the ecosystem, it is a tremendous time to be in high-performance markets. Really, if you look across the data center, or you look across gaming, or you look across PCs, all of these are growth areas for us and areas where new technologies can make a huge difference. But one of the things about being in semiconductors is you have to make big bets. Big bets are what tell you, are you going to win or are you not going to win? And at AMD, we have been making some big bets. Our big bets are around high-performance leadership. And high-performance leadership is not one or two things. It's really a series of decisions that were made 3 to 5 years ago that position us for this year in 2019. And if you take a look at some of those bets, the first is in process technology. We've chosen to be at the leading edge of process technology. We want the best that the industry has to offer. And frankly, that's in 2019, that's 7-nanometer process technology. And we are extremely proud of partnering with TSMC because they do have the best technology in the industry. The second bet is around high-performance cores. The cores are really the engines of our products. And you want those engines to be as modern and capable as possible. And so today, we're going to talk to you about our Zen 2 cores, and we're going to talk to you about our Navi products. And that gives you an idea of our high-performance engines that will power the next decade. And the third piece is we have to put all of these things smartly together. And it doesn't mean just building large pieces of silicon. It really means putting the best technology in the best silicon, in the best package, in the best system. And that's what we call our chiplet architecture, because our chiplet architecture allows us to build an incredible set of products. Now, I told you Computex is an extremely exciting time for us. And this morning, we're going to talk about a lot of different things. We're going to give you a brief update on where we are with our data center products, the second generation Rome. We're going to talk a bit about Navi. How many of you are interested in Navi? We're going to preview Navi for you because it's an incredible product family for gaming. And then third generation AMD Ryzen CPUs. We're going to have a fun morning talking about where technology can really go. So with that, let's start in the data center, please. So look, the data center is really incredibly exciting. And what's exciting about it is the data center really helps us solve the world's toughest and most important challenges. And when you think about some of the most important scientific problems in the world, or you think about high-performance computing, or you think about the tremendous growth in the cloud, or all of the focus on machine learning, all of these things need lots and lots of computing horsepower, and that's what it is we've been focused on. 2 years ago, we introduced the EPYC processor family. EPYC was meant to really bring a new era in the data center. We wanted to change the rules. We wanted to allow people to use single socket or dual socket systems, depending on their workloads. And with that, we have seen tremendous adoption in EPYC over the last 2 years. Today, we have more than 60 AMD EPYC platforms in production. And if you look globally at the largest cloud environments, many of them are using AMD, including Microsoft Azure, including Amazon, including Baidu, Tencent, and many, many more. We have more than 50 AMD EPYC cloud instances in production right now. But I talked to you about solving the world's toughest problems, and it's actually something that we're very proud of. We're engineers. We like to solve problems. And just a few weeks ago, we were very, very honored to be selected for probably one of the most challenging, if not the most challenging supercomputer in the world. AMD was selected by Oak Ridge National Laboratories and the US Department of Energy, together with Cray, to build a 1.5 exaflop supercomputer. That's 1.5 exaflops. It's using a future generation of AMD EPYC, and it's using a future generation of our AMD Radeon Instinct. And the reason we love it is because we know it's going to be incredibly challenging, but our goal in 2021 is to have the world's fastest supercomputer on AMD technology. And frankly, we're going to learn an incredible amount about how to build computers, but more importantly, we are going to help all of the scientists in the world solve some of these tough challenges. So just take a look at what people do with these supercomputers, please.
We get excited about answers. In the end, to us, the technology's how we get to our answers, and that's what excites us. The evolution of AMD seems to be on task with how research computing moves forward. They help us reinvent how we're doing our science.
High-performance computing is an incredibly important market because it's central to product development, to scientific research, to natural resource exploration, and now, more so, to the emerging area of machine intelligence. We believe that supercomputing is at the forefront of computer architecture, and the innovations and technology that's driven into systems wind up defining the standard for the data center.
Building a supercomputer doesn't change the world in and of itself. It's only when we put it in the hands of scientists and engineers that they can use that system to change the world.
Frontier is going to change every aspect of our life, and we'll be better for it.
The bacteria I study have no cure, so detecting them quickly and carefully is really important for preventing disease, as they cause millions of dollars in damage every year. I'm always fighting to get more and more CPU time on the cluster, and with the EPIC server, I'm able to run a lot more jobs faster, and this is really key for getting my research done in a reasonable amount of time.
Our engineers are proud that our technology will be used to help analyze and progress the analysis of advanced weather modeling, of advanced disease research, understanding molecular genetic disorders.
Seeing the science actually get somewhere and actually be able to change the world in a positive way is how we're using this technology, and that's what keeps the scientists going.
Is that exciting or what, in terms of what you can do with the technology? So with that, let me bring you to our first announcement of the morning. You saw what we could do in supercomputing capabilities, and what we're announcing today with Microsoft is we are bringing that supercomputing capability of scale into the Azure cloud. And the idea here is that we have the ability to have the largest cluster of EPIC CPUs, over 10,000 CPUs, that will really allow you to simulate very, very